southern rotations look like. If anybody decides to go that long way around, it looks like Myth already kind of has that in mind as they're sending it towards Tinlong Garden.
Yep, you got to go Tinlong Garden and then spend a little bit of time around Hung Shan as you go through there. You don't want to get caught with T1. I don't think they'll be looking down, so they should be locked into their position. I would assume that we'll see Expendables ultimately make a big south rotation as well. My question is full send. Do they go straight in and sort of deal with the Anyone's Legend T1 traps, or I don't say traps, but solo looters that could become problematic, or do they make a big south rotation considering they're at 26? They need to get points. Everyone goes to the winner's bracket in the next weekend off of this. That said, there are still PGC points and cash prizes on the line for every single point. So while 4AM and Petrichor are running away at the top of this board, it is very compact in the middle, Poro, and there's a bunch of PGC points on the line in that area.
For sure. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how these teams that are towards the bottom try to make that push up to get a little bit higher in the leaderboard, considering, yeah, like you said, it's only 3 games left. And at a certain point, you kind of just got to change your risk versus reward kind of idea, right? You got to be more willing to take those high risk plays and see if they pay off just to get you a couple more points in the bag. Now, one thing that's interesting to me about this circles for this game so far, Toffees, 4AM are way off in the northeast. So we'll see how they elect to come in here. I don't think I've seen them go for an E pickup yet. And I don't know if that's just a symptom that they just never found one, or if that's just not, they're not into it. Like they don't want to try to do that. Instead, they're preferring right now to just slowly make their way in.
They're old fashioned,
playing the edge.
They're the boomers of PUBG, right? They have been since the beginning. And they're like, no, we don't need your newfangled e-pickups. We do things the old fashioned way. I like an internal combustion engine or an electric bus. And that's how I make my changes. Something else interesting about this circle is that the Falcons are in the middle, Poro. For the first time, the Teflon Falcons have managed to get a circle to stay on them. The question is, can they do anything with it? They're in a 2-2 split right now and are about to get flooded by a bunch of teams. So that may go badly as they need a good game really bad right now.
Yeah, and that's the tough thing too. Like the spots that they're holding, that's notorious for being 2 spots that are held in a 2-2 split. So if any of these teams that are starting to probe, like T1, currently getting a little bit close to the eastern half of that 2-2 split, they are getting shot at right now. But we'll see if they pull away. Yeah, T1 hopping in vehicles once again. But yeah, yep. Falcons, they're going to be on the clock trying to hold. Any of the teams that are holding splits towards the center of the circle right now are going to be, they got to be on their best behavior. They've got to keep eyes in all directions. And they've got to be willing to break away from a fight if in case it starts to go something different. Yeah, here we go. This is the view. As you see, the entirety of T1 is starting to push in just across the street.
So as this gets set up, a second ago we saw Cerberus. It's because this trap was set for Cerberus by Na'Vi. That's why our observers took us over there, because they thought they'd spring it a little bit sooner. Falcons and T1 are not going to kick off super fast. They both have a little bit of compound position. They're going to represent strength, but I don't think we see them flood each other just yet. In fact, they may actually work together to keep others out of this area and look for third parties. Cerberus smelled out that Na'Vi third party they showed us a second ago, or that trap, and is actually rotating around it. So it is unlikely that will pop off either.
And here's that.
Oh, Navi's not interested. They're not letting them go. They pull away from it and actually pull over towards where they saw the vehicles leave, but they might actually catch out Brian. No, the tail man, and yet the hungry dogs are coming down as the sprays come through. Tire goes out and Brian goes out, and that is going to be it for him. Now you see one more trailing member of Cerberus. I can't see who that is right now. I can't read the nameplate, but Brian does go down. And that was aggressive by Na'Vi. They set a trap. Then Cerberus tried to go around them. Na'Vi loaded up and chased them down and is still trying to do so. So that is Na'Vi knowing that they need points in that 9th place position and setting up very aggressive tactics in order to get it. Nicely ID'd by the observers. Just took a little longer to pop off, but I'm glad that they showed us that because it shows what Na'Vi needs out of this game.
What is happening down here? You got Myth and the Expendables right on top of each other, and T1 have actually sent 2 down here to see if they can maybe third party this. I'm not sure. Yeah, look at Heather. He finds an angle. He might be able to steal one away after Myth just cleans out the Expendables. That is not great for that team that's currently sitting in 5th place, but they're just holding on to it by a thread.
Clearly, Heather stole Shrimsy's waffles at breakfast today because he came to play and has been a spoiler and put in work very much for T1 as they continue to climb up this leaderboard, sitting in 3rd place currently. We did see a big delete. Expendables completely removed, I think, from the map in almost an instant, as Myth has been really fun to watch today. They're starting to look really good. I mean, they looked good already, but they are starting to really click together in these quick team fights.
Yeah, it's another one of those teams that have shown moments of what we've come to expect from them in the past. Like when we talk about PGS Kiss versus PGC Kiss, which was not that great. But now it's just finding that consistency from game to game. But Myth, obviously extremely capable, and Expendables finding out the hard way right there, just why you don't want to take a full straight 4v4 with these guys lightly.
Yep, Kiss is not distracted here at PGS1. He's focused on the game, and he is playing very well, reminding me of the Old Forest Kiss that we met at PGS last year. Now, a big rotation by Twisted Minds. They are currently, as you can tell, sitting in 8th place at 41 points. If they win this one, there is an off chance that they could push for first, but more importantly, they can get themselves into the fight for those 3rd and 4th position, which is going to be a decent amount of PGC points. And if a team like Twisted Minds can actually pick up PGC points while still running a substitute, I think their journey to PGC is all but guaranteed.
No, absolutely. I mean, you would caution to say that anything less than a PGC appearance for Twisted Minds would be abject failure, really. I mean, you've just come to expect so much of that squad. But
it's one of those
long time between now and then.
Yeah, but also when you have a sub, your goal is just not to do bad, right? It's like it's like having a salvage game for the entire series. You sort of just do the best of what you can. The fact that they have this sub, yeah, it's Molotov, but they're still in contention for top 5. Speaks to the insane value of the team, but I think more importantly to the value of Batulin. To be able to grab a new player, they're not going to use their normal system, right? Because their system is it is system-based. The rotations are pre-planned. He doesn't have to make a lot of calls live if he doesn't want to. To add a new player means everything has to be verbalized. Things that have been fine-tuned for years have to be stated, and the mental wherewithal to be able to transition from a set roster of multiple, I think 3-4 years at this point, that has everything memorized, to guiding Molotov through this is actually a really impressive indication of how good he is as an IGL.
Absolutely, and that's a fantastic point. And we see Myth will stop down long enough just to pick up a glider, get a little bit of an eye in the sky on the south side. They'll be happy once Baron gets up there because they're going to see that south side extremely open right now. Now, can they get a little bit more luck going their way with this next circle pop? And indeed they do. It is going to favor down towards the south. So a number of teams off to the north going to have to find a way to make their way in here when it is very, very congested right around the edge of the new zone.
These cinematic shots are beautiful. It's got to be Froz. Froz loves cinematic shots. Beautiful wide shots of these car chases, gentlemen, as we move into a nice little compound. Twisted Minds did a circle around just in case it was full. This is that body baiting we've talked about. You want to show just in case there's people hidden inside, but you want to do it in a way that you're spread out enough that you're not going to take massive casualties should someone reveal themselves. They're going to slide in, smoke up their cars, try to figure out how to keep them safe. But Baron's there. You can't take anything safely these days as a knock comes out right away.
No, you sure can. S2G finding the angle. It looks like they're going to be fortunate enough to get Example back on his feet, though. As we also saw Falcons. They sent one duo over here just off to the east of Twisted Minds. I don't know how they plan on getting that other duo over here to join them. Instead, they're just going to go for a really wide 2-2 split. We'll see how it works out as the game goes on. Furia, though, and see what they're working with. And they're seeing 4 a.m. just breeze through 4 a.m. Maybe going for a little bit too much here, as they are going to take at least one knock. And it looks like it's going to be on to Winda. He's going to get flushed out as well. And now Spaceman's going to go down too. So 4 a.m., they're losing players left and right, just trying to make it inside of the zone.
BL doing the spray by 4 a.m. Somebody kill these guys for the sake of the show. Do a little bit of work. And they are. They're getting hit up. HSM, Hasameme, if you will, and Shen going to lock up. Winda dead. Spaceman dead. The two that have been carrying this so far are not available in this match. This might be a chance for the rest of the lobby to try to catch up or at least close that gap a little bit.
Yeah, Petrichor Road has to see that in the kill feed, and their eyes have to be lighting up. They are trying to make their way in on this south side. They're going to spot out Myth just in front of them. It might have actually been Baron's glider that gives it away, and they'll just pull right in on the edge and stop down and scout out a little bit more. So no crazy sends towards center for them for the time being, as it looks like most teams actually have kind of found the spot that they want to play here. Only a couple still in vehicles, and that's going to be JDG all the way off to the north. Plenty of room for them to work around. And then Navi, who are slowly wrapping in here on this southeastern side.
Yep. Nobody, this circle, I think I would
around
call
the
it
pizza slice, as it were.
Pizza slice adjacent. Navi exploring the pizza slice, as it is uncontested, and it does have 2 cross points off the top of it, but you can't use those till late. The shift is probably going to go away from here. I like Navi checking it out. They'll be able to use those bridges later. It's a great backfill opportunity. So I think if they lock up on pizza, which is not really a pizza slice, we're just having fun with it, is actually really effective. When I said his initial joke, I didn't think it would become an actual part of the broadcast. So, fair enough.
I mean, look at the cut of that thing. That would be a quarter of the entire pizza.
It's like I told my 7-year-old he could slice the pizza. That's what you come away with.
Yeah. That's the risk you take sometimes. Well, Furia will pop that E-pickup up in the air. I seriously doubt that this E-pickup is going to get taken, but we'll see. The new circle is about to pop, and if it hard shifts, they might be interested, but no, it's going to go right to the center. So I imagine if Furia will be content staying where they are currently at.
I think you're going to send 1 or 2 up for a quick look around, maybe. Oh, they're all going.
Or maybe the whole squad. Let's go.
2026
all right, what's the
Furia.
plan here, Furia?
We don't give up. They just go. I respect it. They're, you know what? Full send, man. What? Why are they doing this? Okay.
Well, maybe I think maybe their vehicles maybe got busted up by being up there, so maybe they lost a whole bunch of wheels. There was not going to be any real way for them to rotate away from that spot out in the open field for them. So this was the best available option, and fortunately enough for them, they get everybody down, and they actually catch full sense a little bit in a split here. Won't be able to get the knock, but they at least secure a little bit more real estate for themselves, and they're actually just off of dead center right now.
That spot's actually pretty slick. I don't think I've seen. I haven't played this spot. I don't think I've seen it played in this perspective because of that little hill behind them with the shields. They've actually got it. If they had a car, this would have been an awesome spot. They can see a ton of stuff around them by using the perspective. They've got the back cover of these little turbines, and they can see each other from across the way. This was a strategic choice by them. That's why they took the E-pickup. They planned on playing this circle if it ever landed here.
Well, we have seen them have success on these maps in the past, and boy, they could use a little bit of success going their way right now. It's just not been a great it hasn't been a great finals for them, I will say. They did manage to make it to the finals, which is definitely great and a good start for that squad that still has 2 new members that they're trying to integrate in and trying to figure out how to work around, but there's a lot of work left to be done. Falcons, meanwhile, they do manage to get their other duo over here against all odds, and they have a really nice spot to play. As you can see, lots of compound, lots of lines of sight on everything around them, so this could be pretty easily defensible for them. Hopefully Falcons get a little bit of circle luck for, well, it seems like the first time in forever.
They need a little bit of circle luck, and they need one team to crash them without a third party so they can warm up for the final circle. One of my beefs with the Falcons is when they catch circles and they have quiet games. I feel like their initial engagement in that last 5 or 6 is a little bit weaker. It's not as crisp. So I need them to stay sharp because they have a great spot. And it's a good chance for them to push back up into those 40s and be in the mix going to the last 2 games.
That's the problem about playing this spot, right? It was great from about 3 out of 4 angles, and unfortunately, it was really bad from one angle, and they just get lit up by Navi, who is showing that they are still mechanically insane.
And, they did it with the grenades,
it won't take them long. I don't think so. I think that was, well, I saw the flushes. I didn't see the initial knocks. But Navi pretty far away. And yet now that circle's going to fall on top, go pretty much dead center once again. And Na'Vi has a lot of room to work with here on the eastern side. Really like the position that they're in. Look at all these teams to the north. Where do you go? Look at just nothing inside that zone.
The desolation of an undeveloped area as these guys look for some sort of real estate, some sort of hard cover. And we've become desperate enough that we're doing car forts with deployable shields and make a little V shape here so you can hide in between it, I guess, is your only real option. Jeez.
And honestly, like that, if Furia had vehicles whenever they went to that spot, they might be in a lot better position. But the fact that they had to pick up there and all they had was apparently just one deployable shield, that kind of put them in a bad spot. So we'll see what T1 decides to do. We saw they were kind of getting held out. They have a compound, but it looks like they're waiting on Cerberus to make a move. Meanwhile, Supers are going to run into Petrichor Road. And Petrichor Road, they're already kind of in the mix with Myth. They take out Scappy and Baron, but I-26 now will get taken down. NB will finish off Baron as DNS continues to kind of work around on this northern side of Petrichor Road, finding different angles.
It was a great opening by Rex 2 to backstab them. The first couple of shots they thought might have been coming from the other side because of the way that they were making peaks at the same moment. So he got a nice little free kill there, got to slip away afterwards. Jump to Falcons with the engagement. They see T1 in the distance. He'd love to get Type knocked out of this car, but Hman takes too much fire from Ian, who says, "You don't shoot, friend." Meanwhile, Jacob from Made in Thailand, who has been just turned up. They're already at 5 kills. These guys were like, you know what? The last day is our day. FaZe isn't around anymore. Maybe it's a Myth Sunday going forward.
Oh boy, Supers will wipe JDG. That's going to be it for them. And now they still Myth and Petrichor Road over here, but Anyone's Legend, they were on the north side. They decided to avoid that Falcons area and instead wrap all the way over here. So now Supers, who were doing fine, they were backfilling. Now they find themselves in the middle of the sandwich.
Yep, they're going to start to fall off here. They only seem to do well in the first game or two of the day, so we'll see if they can turn this around as they're getting really aggressively pushed by Anyone's Legend. Currently in 5th, that's 4 points they would love to have. Furia, your plan did not work out. It was still too soon, and you were surrounded as the kill feed ignites from all sides, Poro.
Oh, E-Arena taking it to full sense now as well. It looks like it might be just down to Tigger for E-Arena, although that, I'm sorry, for full sense rather. So E-Arena is still 4 strong. They still have a lot of room to play around here. Anyone's Legend deciding how they're going to take it to DNS, but they're getting a little bit of help from Myth, who is just on a tear right now this game. They started with the Expendables, and now they turn their attention towards Supers, Heaven, the last player left alive only through the grace of the smokes.
Look at this. Heaven has been strong. He's got a nice little pop flash. He's going to send in first, try to put up a second one, and get a little something out of this. Both players flash. They fall back. Jacob looks the opposite direction. Heaven opens a spray. He gets 2. Can he make it 3? He cannot. Unfortunate. It was beautiful from Heaven as he opened, but victory was not a myth as Jacob survives, and we'll be able to get Scappy and Kiss back up and running.
Just the highest value flash that you've ever seen. Heaven, if he hadn't run out of bullets, he might have taken down the entirety of Myth. And Anyone's Legend, they were right on the cusp of this, but they can't push. They were distracted by S2G. So I don't know why, because S2G is in a compound. They're not going to be pushing you. So I don't know, Anyone's Legend missing a golden opportunity right there to catch Myth while they're at a disadvantage. But Myth, 11 kills now, and they're back to 3-0.
Boom. What a monster.
Oh no. And they're still coming.
He said
they're
3.
Still coming.
Poro, he was so confident. He just tapped off 3 one after another with a 1 degree deviation. That's why Tailton's a monster with this thing and hits it on the first shot. Whether or not this kills any of them, it's taken their cars, it's bruised their utility, and it's caused knocks out for the team. So this is absolutely huge.
And we'll see what they can do now as Ian trying to make his way a little bit closer. But Shrimsy going to spot him out. Myth now, they're still in trouble, but they're still collecting kills.
What?
But 4 angry men will go down. The raid boss is out. 13 kills now for Myth, but Kiss is the last player left alive, and he is getting peppered by Anyone's Legend. Can he survive a little bit longer as the smokes bloom? It looks like he just will. Ooh. No, he goes down.
Meanwhile,
of course he goes down.
And Type shoots Ian in the back of the head. He was so desperate to get that. It does happen. Type ultimately goes out. It looks like actually T1's eliminated. I think they might have done that to deny points, like pick them up and knock them back down. I'll have to see the pickups later in the replay, as T1 knows that they need to keep anyone's legend from getting any points that they possibly can as they close that gap. 55 points for AL with 4 players alive. Twisted also still up 4 strong with 42 points in the hopper. All of the top teams in the Big Four are out, Foro, so the door is actually open for the first time today.
And this is a huge opportunity for anyone's legend, and they are using it. They're starting to stretch out. Delwyn is third partying all of this. Falcons trying to get rid of Cerberus. As you see, Full Sense will get taken down by Delwyn, so another point picked up by AL. They're up to 3 now. They've got some more climbing left to do. Falcons has to stop down long enough to go for the res onto H-Win, but Shrimzy is going to get taken down. They didn't know they were pushing face first into a P90, and that is terrifying stuff.
That is terrifying stuff. Falcons got the circle, stuck in this spot, hoping that our first engagement work in their favor. H-Win now going to go down to the blue, and it's just Tiggleton and Kickstart trying to hold a team together as the circle slides away. They have a ton of real estate and no cover whatsoever. They also got middle circle, which means they didn't have a lot of time to loot additional utility. So I don't know how you cross this open area. Just gun it in the car and hope for the best.
Yeah, it's going to be rough for sure. And they've kind of keep eyes on Cerberus and also on Twisted Minds off to the north there. They have to make their way in. That S2G compound, really the only thing that anybody can even look at is Na'Vi and E-Arena still posturing around each other outside of zone on the south side. Na'Vi will turn their attention back over towards the north as Cerberus tries to push into their vicinity. But E-Arena, they've still got the blue just tickling at their heels.
That is the name of the game so far today. Like we saw that in the last map too. At the very end, everyone's playing chicken in the late game, being like, "I just don't want to be the one that gets engaged. I need to be the third party." And it's back from a couple of years ago where that was the only option. Kickstart trying to find some points. It's a nice knock on the P90, and now he's going to say, "Let's take your Pico away. I can pick up 2 points here."
Oh, but Hackatory has eyes on this as well. And unfortunately for Falcons and unfortunately for Cerberus, Na'Vi are able to kind of keep their eyes set over here in the north side. As Kickstart has to jump out. He's down to 4 HP. And he is getting shot at from multiple different directions. Now, Cerberus does get the res. So they are back up to 2 strong. But Kickstart, yeah, there's not much you can do at that point. Hackatory will take him down. As Twisted Minds, they come from the north side and they find just the smallest little rock here to play around, and it's going to keep them in.
Hackatory was uninterested in allowing Kickstart to do anything to Cerberus. Yeah, I love that he cleaned them out, let Cerb get the res that Kick got so that he could go in here and get both of the kill points.
Oh, he gets one stolen away, though, by Batu. So,
classic.
Less grenades in the bag here for Na'Vi, as they've still managed to avoid E-Arena for the time being and kind of avoid anyone's legend. Delwyn, no, that's not a good place to fall. I'm not sure what happened there, but we'll see if anyone's legend can get him back on his feet. Na'Vi turning their attention back now towards Twisted Minds, and look at the damage coming down. Twisted now down to just 1 player. Molodok is taken out as well. Hackatory will collect that one, and it is now 10 kills for Na'Vi.
Yeah, Na'Vi turned on iron mode, man, as they've got 10 kills and grind that leaderboard. When we started today, Martin said, I think Na'Vi is the lowest team that has a shot to really, truly get back into this all the way down there at the bottom of the board. And they have done it. They started in 10th today with 28 points. Here they stand on, this is the 3rd game, in 6th with 51. That's what you call taking your night off and doing something with it.
And that circle shift is going to help them out a lot as well, as it cuts all the way down south. They can keep playing around where they already are. At S2G, they sent Shilla out to try to see if he can maybe third party on some of this, but there's just nothing doing for him. They kind of have to just stay in their compound and wait for the late game here as E-Arena and anyone's legend continue to trade knocks.
This is an interesting Final Four. You've got anyone's legend trying to break those top 2 open and get access to them. And then you've got Na'Vi trying to break into that top 5 battle. And then the guys at the bottom just trying to have a say in their future, looking to come out with the big win. But Na'Vi feels, I guess S2G's in the driver's seat, but Na'Vi has been on such a vibe right now. I wouldn't put it past them to just charge straight in there and take care of this.
Yeah, they're playing this exactly how they should, right?
Yeah.
Like Anyone's Legend has smoked themselves off to try to go for revives, and they do manage to stick one. They've got one more left to go. And Nurens and Lyrics, they've got the blue tickling at their heels. They have to start making moves now, and you got to imagine they're probably, if not out, running low on offensive utility. S2G, meanwhile, this is what they see. They just have no angles onto anything. Even Baron has left the compound, coming out here to this little ridge to see if he can find some kind of angle onto Na'Vi, but it's just not presenting itself.
Yep, seeing that only having 3 points has got to be frustrating when they know they're so far down. Na'Vi using a really great spot to just mess with Anyone's Legend, and EA is going to have to backstab them. So once that breaks out, I think Na'Vi's waiting just a third party and get that backside of the road, because if EA goes to war with AL here, they do have a really good chance to come in, clean up, and pick up another 5 points.
All right. You can see the Na'Vi players, their pings on that mini map.
You can see right into Hakatori's brain.
Spray down in. There you go. Another knock on to Destroy. The flush comes through as well. Destroy, before going down, took out Nurens with a nice grenade. So E-Arena down to just Larix as Hepa now finds a little bit of a path here. And Hakatori over 1,000 damage. This is vintage Hakatori stuff here, isn't it? This is where we talk about him being one of the scariest players in the lobby.
The craziest part is, as of now, I still don't think he has MVP. As of now, I still think it's going to Myth. So they after this, maybe they take it back, but that's just how awesome Myth and Na'Vi's game have been. They've dominated both of them this entire run. So they are still fighting Anyone's Legend. 7 kills for them, nothing to sniff at, but they did stop that EA aggression. So this is a little bit trickier. S2G has pushed out while we were watching and owned the entire circle. Very smartly, they knew that fight was going on. They said, okay, if we can't get the kills, let's make sure we get the real estate.
Yeah, they found an opportunity, but Na'Vi, they hop in the vehicles. They figured out that there was a 2-2 split. Baron next will go down. Hakatori is destroying S2G. He's a one-man army. 1,100 damage. Make it 1,200 as he spots out Shilla, but no, he's going to go down.
It does not matter. Na'Vi are kings with the push as they make a big play. Anyone's Legend is the most ecstatic about that play, though, because all of a sudden, they're back in this.
They are. Spiro and Boostic still alive, still in a good spot. They can maybe pull this off as the 2 flushes do come through. 13 kills for Na'Vi. They hop up into 6th place overall. And how much higher can they get here? Boostic landing a big knock on Akepa as Shilla just using whatever is left of that wall, trying to put shots down range. And Anyone's Legend, they're perfectly content to let this play out.
Hakatori is my MVP officially. I don't even care what happens at the end of this game. That Na'Vi play was like the best. That was so cool. He hit
filthy seat swap.
It really was. What a monster, dude. That kid's just built different.
He really is. I don't think he broke 1,200, but he was like 10 damage away. Like he was damn close. And that is not a number that you get to see very often when it comes to damage numbers. So Kepa will get spotted out by a Himass here, and now he's going to get flushed out as well. So Shilla, S2G has been hanging out in this compound the whole game, and now all of a sudden they are just down to one player.
But the key is they got the S2G mid-tiers out, right? So now... Beautiful throw. Na'Vi, particularly Boostic, now has closest action to center point because of that send by Hakatori. So if S2G gets forced to die to the blue, they get to go 2v3 against Anyone's Legend. Boostic still up, I think, is a huge value to them. And technically, they are slightly closer. It looks like Anyone's Legend understands that and is going to try to work around the bottom of this circle to catch them on the split while they finish off S2G.
You got to imagine Shilla's done. Yeah, Boostic will get the kill in there. That puts Na'Vi up to 14, and now it's a 2v3 for the win. Not actually still a fair amount of utility left in the bag for Spiro. He's got to get on the move, though, because that grenade is going to knock that vehicle away. He will continue to just play around on the edges. Boostic had the hard cover, the deployable shield that he was playing around, but it's right on the edge, and anyone's legend not over peaking this. They're staying on that rock as long as they can.
So AL burnt all lethal. They also shot Spiro's molly out of the air, which saved them the rock. Everyone is mostly down just to utility at this point, and that shield was more than enough to keep Boostic up. The fight breaks out. Delwyn's trying to find the quiet flank while the rest of his team distracts from the high ground. Boostic uses the time to flex off to the left. He sees the rock, but they're off of it. Now he's got to double back, grabs his shield just in case. Doritos come down, sees the first man. That's a knock on Delwyn. Now it's a 2v2 as Spyro opens the door. They got to go slow, looking around the shield. Both of them are using it. The smoke getting close to dissipation. They look for the flush. The scout on the Dorito is huge for anyone's legend.
Both dying down, but Boostic will spot out him as Sololzi has his own deployable shield, but he has got two Na'Vi players staring down at him, and Na'Vi pull off the 16-kill win on Rondo.
In the words of Nature Boy Ric Flair, woo! They said Hackatory, and you don't need a Hackatory when you got a Boostic, baby. He had the spot. They were closest to circle. They made a play, and they stuffed it down anyone Legends' throat and took that chicken dinner in a very stylish finish. That was a great game. I'm Toffees. That's Porosaurus. Let's get Avenger and Kalaris back into here because I know these two guys are gassed up about that Na'Vi victory.
I'll take it, and I'll say it. It's a slobber knocker of a game. That's right, for the Na'Vi boys, as I've got Avenger, as you say, to talk about this one. Avenger, that was clinical from the boys in yellow.
Man, oh man, that drive-by. Getting two of them.